I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Hey everyone, Jesse Shade from Awfully Good Movies here, and it's that time of year once again to stick it to the worst movies of 2015. And seeing as I've been too busy watching bad movies from home to watch them in the theater, I decided not to base my list off the votes on IMDb this time, but instead decided to take the vote to you and the fine community at JoBlo.com. We had you guys take a poll where you would select the worst movie you'd seen this year, from a list that included some of the most critically drubbed flicks of the past year, as well as the suggestions you sent to us on Twitter. Yes, we even included Mad Max Fury Road, even though most of us love that movie, and we're pretty sure the guy who suggested that on Twitter was just trolling us. Because we here at JoBlo.com believe in a little thing called American democracy, even though our website's based in Canada. So now it's time to close the polls and tally up the votes, as JoBlo.com and Awfully Good Movies present your top 10 picks for the worst movies of 2015. Number 10, Taken 3. In January 2009, a little film called Taken was released in theaters, and being that it was produced and co-written by Luc Besson, who has long stopped giving a shit about making good movies, no one expected it to be good. But for some reason, it turned out fucking awesome! And its box office success transformed Liam Neeson from a distinguished Oscar nominee to this generation's Charles Bronson. Fast forward 6 years later to Taken 3, where the only thing taken here was our valuable time. Even for an action movie, audiences thought this flick stretched the lines of implausibility, and from the bored and tired expression on Liam Neeson's face, it looks like he really is getting too old for this shit. And audiences seem to be as exhausted of these movies as he is. Thankfully, Neeson is coming back to doing high-profile drama next year with Martin Scorsese's Silence, and hopefully that movie will give Liam Neeson the career boost he needs so he can resume being bullshit! Number 9, Mordecai. Back in 2003, Johnny Depp donning a silly wig and a goofy accent did wonders for him in the first Pirates of the Caribbean. But 12 years and several increasingly worse Tim Burton collaborations and pirate sequels later, the joke has gotten old. And nowhere is that more apparent than in Depp's passion project adaptation, produced by Depp himself, of the literary mysteries of snooty British art dealer / detective Charlie Mortdecai. Oh, you've never heard of the Charlie Mortdecai books? Well, guess what? Neither has most of America. And between the horrid reviews and the abysmal box office, it doesn't take a detective to guess that we won't be seeing Mr. Mordecai go on any more big screen adventures. So it's great to hear that Johnny Depp has won rave reviews and Oscar buzz for his turn in Black Mass, which means his career might be back on the right track. Wait, he's got new Alice in Wonderland and Pirates of the Caribbean sequels coming out, doesn't he? Oh, that's right. Well, fuck then. Never mind.
In the music industry.
Number 8, the Human Centipede 3 final sequence. It seemed like such a novel concept 5 years ago, didn't it? An insane German scientist who kidnaps 3 unsuspecting tourists so he can stitch them together from mouth to butthole. Advertised as the most horrific film ever made. Everyone talked about it. South Park parodied it, and in his review of it, Roger Ebert refused to give it a rating, saying, "Is the movie good? Is it bad? Does it matter?" Well, by the time you get to Human Centipede 2 and this year's 3rd installment, one can almost certainly say it's just plain bad. And that writer-director Tom Six has gone beyond making legitimate horror movies and now is just deliberately trolling his audience in the hopes they get offended. Oh, and here I was thinking these movies were made with complete sincerity. I mean, this flick stars Eric Roberts. The man is an Academy Award-winning actor's brother. Not to mention, it stars Tommy Tiny Lister, and I think I'll give him the honors of disposing of this horrific franchise once and for all.
Give it to me.
Number 7, Pixels. This award-winning short from director Patrick Jean seemed like an ideal candidate for becoming a feature film. Beloved icons of 80s arcade games coming to life and terrorizing the people of Earth. But then you found out who was gonna produce and star in it. That's right, Adam Sandler is who you can thank for turning this creative gem of a short into another autopilot yuckfest for Sandler. Unlikable characters, blatant product placement, jokes that alternate from homophobic to sexist, and to top it all off, Kevin James as the President of the United States, which, after the success of Donald Trump, seems terrifyingly plausible. But even Sandler's dedicated legion of fans decided to skip this one, leaving Sandler no choice but to move his brand of paid vacations masquerading as movies to Netflix. Oh, good Netflix, because you needed to make a movie that was more depressing than Beast of No Nation. In fact, why didn't you just have Adam Sandler do that movie too? The Wackiest Warlord, starring Terry Crews.
That's right, my soldiers! Burn down this village!
That's not a village, General. That's your house.
Oh no!
Number 6, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. As if one Adam Sandler Kevin James joint wasn't enough for you this year, along comes a Sandler-produced follow-up to the inexplicably popular action comedy that answers all your burning questions. Can Kevin James still flail around on the ground like an undignified Curly Howard? How much can they play the casino in Las Vegas that allowed them to film there in exchange for some product placement? Has Neil McDonough managed to co-star in a worse film than Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li? Not to worry, this film answered all those questions and more, and thanks to its success at the box office, I'm sure we'll have a Paul Blart 3 to answer even more of them. Hey, maybe they can cross it over with the wackiest warlord! Number 5, Terminator Genisys. After giving up his film career to pursue governing California and banging maids, Arnold Schwarzenegger returned to the role that turned him into a superstar. And after the Arnoldless failure of Terminator Salvation, there was nowhere this franchise could go but up, right? First off, it made the same mistakes that Salvation made, being rated PG-13 and revealing who the mystery cyborg villain was in the goddamn trailer. Secondly, it was endorsed by James Cameron himself as the true third film in the franchise, and seeing as he's busy making a whole bunch of Avatar sequels that nobody wants, his word doesn't mean shit. Thirdly, the film itself was not at all good, changing the timelines of the first two movies and having subpar performances from the cast that didn't live up to their iconic characters, with the exception of Arnold himself. So despite Arnold's best efforts, it doesn't look like the Terminator franchise will be back, seeing as Arnold is now the new host of Celebrity Apprentice. So does that mean that Donald Trump's gonna be... Oh no.
Bigger and better and stronger than ever before.
Number 4, Jupiter Ascending. Hey guys, remember when the Wachowskis made The Matrix and were declared the new hope in Hollywood filmmaking? Well, after the failures of the Matrix sequels, Speed Racer, and now Jupiter Ascending, that memory is fading really fast. And with Jupiter Ascending, the Wachowskis decided to take down an A-list cast with them in this overly complex and baffling sci-fi fantasy. Channing Tatum as a wolf boy on rocket skates, Mila Kunis as a janitor who turns out to be a space princess, and Eddie Redmayne as an Oscar-nominated actor who's hoping that the Academy doesn't watch his performance in this movie before they cast their ballots.
I create life!
Thankfully, Redmayne still won his Oscar, but the Wachowskis were left with a $176 million bomb that was ritually slaughtered by critics. So hopefully, the next time they spend millions of dollars on a movie, they'll make sure the audience will understand their script as much as the Wachowskis do. Number 3, and don't get mad at me for this, Jurassic World.
Man, this is some bullshit! Boo this man!
Look, I didn't vote on this poll, you guys did! Yes, despite the fact it's currently the highest grossing movie of the year, and was generally liked by critics and audiences, there's plenty of people out there who have problems with this reboot of the Jurassic Park franchise. Two-dimensional characters, too many fan-baiting allusions to the first movie, and one hell of an implausible plot. Great, just when movie fans stop debating over Man of Steel, along comes this shit to divide us all over again. Thanks, Star-Lord! Well, we can only hope that the upcoming sequels to this flick can fix these issues, and that director Colin Trevorrow has learned a thing or two before he directs Star Wars 9. Seriously, Colin, you fuck that movie up, and we will feed your ass to the Raptors. Number 2, 50 Shades of Grey. What was once a simple piece of Twilight fanfiction soon became the best-selling phenomenon that had everyone talking and got every sexually repressed housewife become equal parts hot and bothered. But much like Twilight, this book series has now become a film series, and discerning moviegoers are none too happy. Between the lack of chemistry between its two romantic leads, the kind of corny dialogue you'd find in a book with Fabio on the cover, and sex scenes that weren't nearly as hot as they were hyped up to be, not too many people are looking forward to the next 2 chapters of this story. But the movie made a shitload of money, so you can bet your ass they're on the way. Personally, I'm looking forward to seeing it get the parody treatment it deserves in 50 Shades of Black, starring Marlon Wayans. Oh, I did not know he was the one behind it. I take that back. For the love of God, I take it back! And now, for our number 1 worst movie as voted by you, the JoBlo.com community, with a staggering 600 votes, it's Fantastic Four. Yes, no bad movie this year managed to fail as spectacularly as this third strike from 20th Century Fox in bringing the first family of superheroes to the big screen that actually made people yearn for the Tim Story version. Though casting the roles with a bunch of 20-somethings certainly didn't sound like a good idea, there were plenty of people who wanted to give Chronicle director Josh Trank the benefit of a doubt. But then came the stories of behind-the-scenes chaos from the movie's production. Reshoots, fistfights, dogs tearing up houses. Then Josh Trank was kicked off directing a new Star Wars movie. Then came a tweet from Trank himself that confirmed the studio fucked him over. On the weekend, the movie was gonna open. And finally, the movie itself came out. And what we got was a totally confused and shoddily edited mess that audiences hated as much as the critics did. Not even managing to open up at #1 at the box office. And though Fox insisted that they'd move forward with a sequel anyway, they eventually threw in the towel, leaving the cinematic status of the Fantastic Four currently in limbo. My advice, guys, just swallow your pride, sell the property back to Marvel, and make the movie that we all want to see. The behind-the-scenes documentary about this movie.
That's what I'm talking about.
And there they are, your picks for the worst films of 2015. And hey, you just may see me review one of these flicks next year on Awfully Good Movies, which you can check out every other Wednesday here at the YouTube channel of JoBlo.com. Until then, I'm Jesse Shade, and now to present the list of our runners-up, please welcome to the stage Mr. Johnny Depp!
I'm not very good at this kind of thing.
Oh fuck, he's drunk again. Let's just go ahead and instead scroll up a list of those runners-up, shall we? Okay, now which one of you did it? Which one of you fuckers got Depp drunk again? Was it you, Dan? I know it was you, Dan! Fuck you, Dan, I'm gonna have your balls on a platter! On a motherfucking platter!
I mean, it's one of those nights.
JoBlo, he sure likes to drink a lot. JoBlo watches movie like